Hello and welcome to Sprite Plays Super Avalanche. This is the sequel to an old Flash game that I really enjoyed that was just called Avalanche. And I was really surprised to see this turn up on NorthernLion. I'm going to jump right into it and talk a little bit about it. I will warn you that I am very bad at this game, so if you are looking for high quality play, check back maybe in a few years. We're going to play Endless. So this has taken the basic formula of Avalanche, where you have these blocks dropping down and you play as a marshmallow that has to climb up them. And it's added power-ups, like I currently have this cape power-up that lets me air dash. Whoops! And I lost it because I hit a monster, which is another one of the new things that has been added. And I've been getting a little bit of jerkiness, a little bit of stuttering sometimes when I've been playing it, but it's a really neat kind of arcadey game with a lot of sort of not roguelike elements, but kind of the elements that people keep adding to roguelikes to make them not roguelikes. It has all of that stuff. Like we have this bank where we can deposit coins, and we can use that to unlock stuff between runs. And we're just trying to climb up. There's a shop where we can actually buy a shield for 6 coins, so I'm going to do that. Whoop! And immediately die before I could even pick up the shield. And that's kind of how this game has been going. It's got a very kind of arcadey, one more go. So right now I have this power-up, basically, this power-up that you put on between runs, that what it does is it charges you 8 coins from your bank and every time you use it, and then it just starts your run with a cape, which is very useful because the cape really helps you travel around. And I was not actually trying to get any of those power-ups. I don't really want that power-up. I like the cape quite a lot, and so ideally I would like to actually find a second power-up slot, but I'm not actually seeing that. So the cape lets us air dash, and we can actually go around the edges, which is very useful. And then we get a bonus for landing on blocks before they hit the ground. And so we're just trying to get coins and get as high as we can and then bank the coins, because that way we can unlock things. And I'm playing with, there are a bunch of cosmetic unlocks that you can get. I'm not using hardly any of them, but I can actually show you some of that. I can go to the custom shop. And so right now all I have is the bow, and this is the thing that gives me a cape. And we can get things like noses, glasses, we can change our color, all sorts of stuff that I don't actually find. Well, we could get purple hair, that's actually somewhat appealing. And then we can apply that, and that will go, I think, very nicely with our bow. There we go, so now we have a bow and some hair, but we're still fundamentally a marshmallow. And I don't remember who I actually saw play the original version of this, but I remember that I saw somebody play this describe it as a packet of Kleenex. And so that's what I thought of this character as, until this came along and was pretty explicit about you being a marshmallow. So we can jump on top of enemies to kill them. They will also get squished by the blocks. They will hurt us. We will lose our power-up, if we have one, as like the first thing that happens when we get hit. We can break blocks with our head. Getting squished is instant death, though, unfortunately. Oh, and falling in the lava is as well. So we didn't get very far, didn't manage to bank any coins. But I am still really learning to play this game. I'm really struggling with it still, just because I don't have much experience with it yet. So we get these chests, they give us power-ups we don't actually want. Oh my goodness. Well, we got a power-up anyway, even though... Oh! and that's the end of that. So it's got this very kind of frantic, fast-paced feel. It takes a lot of precision, which I really like. It actually reminds me a bit of Probability Zero, which I've played a bit on this channel, and I actually kind of picked up again recently. And NorthernLion actually compared it to Super Crate Box, which I think it has a lot in common with as well. And we can climb up walls really easily. The jumping physics take a lot of getting used to, but they're actually really nice. We can jump on that cloud for coins, but I was kind of in a bad position to do that. And that was a mistake. We can jump on this cloud 3 times to unlock a power-up, and I believe that's the sweatband, which makes us run faster, which is not the most useful power-up, but it's better than nothing because it will protect us from damage, which is kind of an extra. So here we can bank our coins, and we can use those for unlocks. I like that there are not, at least so far, too many really game-changing unlocks that I've seen. They all have kind of different value propositions. Oh, that was a close call. You actually get coins for when it registers it as a close call. I would really like to get this cape. Let's see if we can bash through this block. There we go. Grab the cape. And we're still really stuck, and that's the end. So gradually, trying to get better at this game, and eventually I'm hoping that I will actually be able to get good scores. Because I really enjoy it, and I'm really glad to have kind of a new, frantic arcade action game to play around with. It's a genre that I really enjoy, and I'm actually really glad to have a new endurance high score game to play around with. That's something that I really like that is not nearly as possible as the kind of the time attack style. And so I'm really glad to see that. And it's really challenging and it's really satisfying when you get things, when you get out of a tight spot like that. So I'm really enjoying it. They're actually boss battles, which I'm not really good enough at this to be sure that I can show one to you. So I'm going to actually try and bank, because I don't want to lose my coins. And you can also withdraw from the bank as well. Now, there we go. I had to use the cape, but I managed to do that. There we go. So you can use the cape to kind of get around situations like that. I don't actually want a different power-up because the cape is serving me so well. That just gave me coins. That's good. And we've got another shop. So we should be getting pretty close to the first boss fight pretty soon. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be. But it's... yes, there it is. So you get this kind of thing that goes across the bottom like this. And we're going to be battling Queen Birdie. And these are all kind of Sonic-style bosses. Just lost my power-up, unfortunately. Where you just have to jump on top of them and avoid their attacks. So it's really interesting to see how they've managed to take a really simple kind of flash arcade game and really develop it into something that feels like a full complex game. And you can actually get multiple hits on the bosses. It would be really neat if this was actually my first boss victory. And there we go. So now we get a boss chest with a power-up. Let's see, I didn't actually see Speedster Follower, permanently move faster. So this is one of the permanent power-ups that you can get in this game, which they still only last as long as a single life, but you don't lose them when you get hit, the way that I lost the cape by getting hit. and they don't take up a power-up slot, I think, is the other important thing. So I would really like to... Oh, that's too bad. Achievement unlocked. Beat the first boss once. Unlocked an item. Cool. So I will probably be revisiting this, I can't guarantee. But it's a game I'm really enjoying. It is, I think, $10 on Steam, which is, I think, a totally reasonable price. I don't like the kind of race to the bottom that has been happening with Steam prices, of people saying that more and more content is worth less and less money, but right now this is going for $10. Knowing the way Steam works, it's very likely that it will be on sale eventually, but I don't really have any regret having picked it up at full price. And there are missions, there's lots of missions and unlocks, and so then things become available in the shops and in the custom shop, and we can look at things, see if we want to add any upgrades. But I tend not to like to use a lot of upgrades. I tend to like to play the game kind of in a really pure form, because I really want my scores to be comparable to other people's, and so until I've unlocked everything, I kind of feel like not having any unlocks is the kind of the most comparable way that I can play this game. But of course there's a lot of different ways that you could approach that problem, and I don't in any way think that my approach is at all the only way, or even the best way of thinking about arcade games and high scores and unlocks. But that's kind of how I think about it, so thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.